Alright guys, I'm about to remove the steering wheel on my car. I'll show you a little bit later why I'm going to be doing that, but I figured I'd walk you through some of the steps required um, before taking off that steering wheel. So step one is obviously going to be to disconnect the battery so that you don't trigger an airbag light or really get that airbag to potentially pop. It's pretty rare, but I guess it's happened before, so it's part of the standard procedure. All right, so step one for really removing the steering wheel now that you've disconnected the battery is to pop these little covers out on the side, which is going to give you access to what's holding the airbag. There's one on each side, and then you need a T30 to remove that. So let's pop out these little covers on the sides and then get those T30s out. And there you can actually see the T30. The other side, the cover is a little bit smaller, but same procedure. So one on each side. Once that's gone, you'll be able to pull the airbag out. All right, perfect. So I just got the second one out on the right side. Just something to keep a note here. Looks like there is some blue Loctite on these. So for when you reinstall them. And now at this point, the airbag literally just pops out. So just be careful with that. Next, we'll kind of go into how to disconnect the ABS cable. So now with the airbag out, you can actually see some of the wiring here. We're going to have to move some of these out of the way because these stay with the car, not the steering wheel. So just be careful here not to ruin any of the wires. Gently pry that off. We'll have to disconnect this as well, which is the cruise control. So let's get to it. Lastly, with those out of the way, we can use a 14mm socket and break this loose. Just pop that bolt out. It was pretty easy to pop it out. Now the next step is to mark here with some type of marker, Sharpie, whatever, where the alignment is so that when you put it back, it goes back exactly. So here's the big reveal. I'm going to be wrapping this in some leather. It's a pretty cheap kit. I think it was about $50 shipped. We'll see how it turns out. Really, there was nothing wrong with the stock leather. I know most people will do this when it's tearing, ripping, whatever. I actually just wanted to protect it and give it, a different look while, the inside is actually being preserved for its originality. So, give it a shot, $50. Hopefully it comes out well. I've seen some people do it with the steering wheel in the car with the airbag, and sometimes the tough parts around the edges bunch up. I didn't like that look, so I'm gonna try to do it right, and we'll see how it comes out. Quick update. Wow, what a pain. Unless you've got a lot of time, this is a lot of work. I'm about 3 hours in. I am kind of a pain in the perfectionist, so yeah, I definitely had to redo the first time 3 times. It's a lot of work, and it's definitely not perfect. I still got to work on smoothing out some of these corners. I'm probably going to redo this side, and I've got this side to go. Haven't tied any of these out. This is not tied. This one's not tied. I figured I'm going to put it all together and then make that final adjustment in case I need to wiggle the leather around. So I think we're going to finish tomorrow because I am tired and my pinky hurts. Many, many, many hours later, we are almost done. Some of the trickiest stuff was these corners here, trying to tuck it in, stretch the leather. I mean, it's still not going to be perfect, but it's pretty good. I mean, so I still got to work on this side. You can tell it's a little floppy. Is it worth it? If you've got 5 or 6 hours of your life you want to waste, it does feel pretty good. We'll see what the longevity of all this is going to be. You can see where I tuck this in, backside. Again, you're not really going to see the backside, so a lot less of a good deal. Big deal there. And I got to finish this right here, but you can see how That's what it looks like when you're not done and you got to stretch the leather, pull it, being careful, and then tuck it in. And you can see it's really tough to get it to naturally um, line up. You can see here what it would look like. So we'll see. We'll see how long this lasts. Um, but hey, from the front, not bad, right? I'll recap after I've driven this for a little bit and it's installed on the car. And there we have it, the finished product. You can see all the stitching there. So I haven't really driven the car. It's winter here. I think the big question is going to be how long will this last? What's the longevity for this? It definitely adds a little bit of color to the interior. You know, this interior's just your standard black interior on this 06. So we'll see how this steering wheel cover lasts. You know, my concerns are probably these areas here. You know, will they stay tucked in? How will this material stretch or wear with heat, with temperature changes, etc.? Honestly, I don't think it's going to be too bad, at least for a couple of years, because this car's garage kept. This car's not daily driven, so it's mainly a weekend summer car. And yeah, you know, if anything pops up, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. This was the only place where I really couldn't get this little wrinkle out. Again, maybe with the summer, the leather will stretch a little bit. It's really not that noticeable. And yeah, pretty good. All right, guys, please subscribe and comment below if you have any questions. I'll link the vendor for this steering wheel cover in the description as well, in case you guys are interested. They make them for all sorts of manufacturers. I think BMW is a pretty big one. They make a lot of these for BMWs, but you know, even brands that aren't even sold in the U.S. So definitely they make covers for all sorts of cars throughout the world. All right, guys, catch you in the next one.